Up next on Boring Gear Reviews, we have a Unicorn Apocalypse from Sketchy Sounds. Thanks so much to Sketchy Sounds for sending me the Unicorn Apocalypse. Okay, so the Unicorn Apocalypse is a 2-channel high-gain fuzz pedal. On the left-hand side, we basically have a dirt transmitter from Earthquaker, and the right-hand side is like a Acapulco Gold. In the center, we have a feedback loop that is toggled on and off via foot switch, and the intensity of that feedback loop is controlled with the knob in the middle. So on the dirt transmitter side, we have bias, which will control the biasing of the gain. Then we have dirt, which will control your distortion. Filter is like your tone knob. And then level will control the overall output while it's on. On the right side, the Acapulco Gold side, we got one big knob, and that is basically your volume/distortion. For today's demo, I'm using my 1983 Greco RR65, and this has cream tone A3 Deluxe pickups. From there, I'll be running into my UAD Apollo X6 and then into the Softtube JMP 2203 amp plugin. Okay, for our first clip, we're just going to be using the left side of the pedal. And here we're going to have the bias just before 3 o'clock. The dirt is going to be almost all the way off, just enough to get a little bit of a signal. The filter will be about 3 o'clock and the level around 1 o'clock. We're going to have the rage control just past 3 o'clock as well. And we will be pairing that with the Meris Mercury 7 for a bit of reverb. Okay, so by itself, the pedal is rather high gain on both sides. So here we're actually going to show the cleanup of it by rolling the volume back on the guitar and playing a little lighter. Cleans up beautifully, sounds very warm and kind of gritty, but not harsh at all. And then when we go to full volume, the thing really opens up. It's a super kind of aggressive, in your face, very, very fuzzy sounding fuzz. There's a lot of kind of like crunch to it, and it's very defined. It's not like a mushy fuzz at all. Towards the end of the clip, I'm going to engage that feedback loop or the rage switch, and it almost gets like a little bit of like a cocked wah thing happening with some kind of slipping or artifacts in it. It's such a cool sound. Enjoy. All right, next up, we're using just the right-hand side, so the Acapulco Gold circuit. And here we're just gonna max it out. Not a whole lot to say other than that. It's a very thick, heavy, like a lot of bite in the top end. It just sounds huge. I love it. You definitely get the vibe with this side that it's like a cranked amp. Like it's just really maxing out in all capacities. And even with that being the case, it still is really kind of clear and articulate as far as like high gain stuff goes. You hear everything that's going on. It doesn't matter if I'm doing big low stuff or up high. It just, everything is right there. So enjoy. And lastly, we're going to start with the dirt transmitter side. So here we're going to have the bias at 2, the filter at 2, the dirt at 10, and the level at 3. The rage circuit will be at noon, and then the Acapulco Gold side will also be at noon. So we get this awesome, crunchy, a little bit sputtery fuzz on the left side, and then when we turn on the right side, it just really blows the doors off of it. It's like so crushing and crumbling. And then when we turn on the feedback loop at the end, it's just kind of, there's like a little bit of like a swirliness happening, I guess you could say. It sounds super cool and just makes it sound a little more chaotic, much more aggressive. There's a lot of texture you get with just the foot switches, which is something I love. I don't mind, kneeling down and turning knobs, but if I can accomplish a lot just by, doing a little bit of tap dancing, as it were, I'm a huge fan of that. And to get so many options in just one pedal is really, really rad. you have the Unicorn Apocalypse from Sketchy Sounds. It is such a cool idea for a pedal, housing two really awesome, well-known circuits together, plus adding some, a little bit of bells and whistles with the feedback loop and all this other stuff going on. Super cool. Obviously, the artwork is outstanding. There are 3 colorways. They all look amazing. It has to be one of my favorite looking pedals. It's just so cool. Like, it's super fun. It's not like any other pedal that you could see. I love it. All of Sketchy Sounds stuff is great. If you see my other Sketchy Sounds videos like the Lost Soul and the Bad Blood and the Garantula and the old tapes, you'll know kind of how much I dig what they're doing. So you can check out all those videos. Links for everything in the description below. And yeah, I mean, for me, this is just a really rad pedal. And that'll do it. If you dig the content, please consider hitting that like, subscribe, comment, share, all those things. It means a lot to me and definitely helps the channel out. Speaking of supporting, you can also become a member by clicking the link below. We do some members-only stuff like streams, and you have access to old live streams that go members-only after 2 days. I'm eventually going to be doing some giveaways that are exclusive for members and some polls and stuff like that, so we're having a fun time. Speaking of giveaways, once we hit 2,000 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. I've got a couple pedals. I'm going to try to get a couple more and see what else I can round up to give away. But yeah, so subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and you'll get more information there. As always, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Peace.